Good evening, I'm Jasmine Thibodeau. Tonight, a judge put a temporary hold on President Donald Trump's federal funding freeze that was expected to take effect on Tuesday. In the meantime, we're learning more about what effect the Trump administration's pause on federal funding could have on us here in Louisiana. This temporary pause orders a freeze on all federal grants and loans, but is not expected to impact Medicare and Social Security. As far as Medicaid is concerned, the White House denies that funds have been frozen, although states reported problems accessing their Medicaid portals. Governor Jeff Landry released this statement on the matter, saying, quote, President Trump was elected on a mandate to cut government waste and increase the impact of every federal taxpayer dollar, a goal we wholeheartedly embrace. Our administration is thoroughly evaluating President Trump's new order and seeking clarity as to the depth of this action. We believe that we are placing adequate resources into the state coffers to ensure stability for the time being. We urge OMB to develop a responsible runway to untangle us from any unnecessary and egregious policies without jeopardizing the financial stability of the state. End quote. Meanwhile, I spoke to other officials for their thoughts on the latest move made by the Trump administration.
We feel that's unconstitutional. I mean, at the end of the day, you just can't say because you wake up one morning and you feel a certain way, we're going to freeze all federal funding. And so there'll be actions taken against it.
This order directs all federal agencies to submit detailed reports on any programs, projects, or activities subject to this pause on federal funding by February 10th. So who will this affect?
People who are doing cancer research, that all has to stop if this act is implemented. Pell grants, the whole gamut. And there's a reason for Congress. And there's a reason we have three branches of government, and that is to check the other branch. When Congress appropriate money, the president can unilaterally say, oh no, we're not going to do that, unless he do it through a veto.
Federal agencies must now identify and review all federal financial assistance programs and supporting activities consistent with President Trump's policies and requirements, possibly impacting funding for some of our local nonprofit organizations and services. Senator Bill Cassidy says he believes this will be sorted out quickly.
There's been a fair number of immediate executive orders, and then there's kind of an immediate sort of fine-tuning of the process. But I think the president wants to get federal spending under control. That's part of the reason that Republicans were elected. But let me just say, we want to make sure that there's no downstream effect in which local communities which are receiving grants, which, Congress has decided they should receive, are not harmed in the process.
Congressman Fields says these actions violate the Impoundment Control Act of 1974, a law that restricts the president's ability to withhold funds approved by Congress.
We have three branches of government, and I think all of them will exercise their jurisdiction. And the courts, somebody's going to file an injunction. Courts are going to look at it, and I think the courts ultimately are going to decide that the president overstepped this bound.
We reached out to several local school boards and nonprofits to ask them how this would impact them. Hearts of Hope here in Lafayette did say this could mean funding delays, staff layoffs, and put some programs at risk. According to a senior administration official, the federal funding freeze does not apply across the board and will not impact individual payments or assistance. Agencies may also reportedly seek exemptions on a case-by-case basis.